you followed the previous two episodes, you know that I'm trying to renovate a shop of 25 years that I made when I was a much younger man. In this episode, I'm taking apart my assembly table that I've had and done a lot of work on and renovating it so that it's kind of back to the way it was and maybe even better. Well, I'm going to do something I never did. I'm going to take my assembly table from about 20 to 25 years ago, and I'm going to put some poly on it, on the sides. I was going to paint it like the cabinets, but the wood looks pretty good. I think I'll just poly the side of it instead of putting paint on it. And it'll be a quicker job that way too. Here's what the side looks like. I can't take that thing off. That was for a hose reel because I went and glued it on, so I'd have to rip the plywood off. But the top will come next. Right now, the poly. Well, that went on very fast. Poly goes on like water, so you can brush it on really quick. Just to show you now that I have the sides and the top off from this, this is how it's made. It's about 3¼ inches thick right here. And it's made a little bit like a torsion box, but it's not really a torsion box. A torsion box is to give rigidity to something. This is just to try to make it solid, and that was it. In the corners right here, I don't know if you can see the pencil lines. Let me shrink this. Right here, pencil line right there. This corner is solid pieces of OSB and plywood sandwiched together. All four corners are like that. And then, if you can see the pencil lines right here, there are pieces of framing lumber here. There's one up the middle and lines over there. Those were drawn to show me where to put the screws to nail this OSB on the top. It's very, very solid. It's quite heavy. It has good wheels on it that lock, but I never lock them because it's just so heavy. It just doesn't move on its own. The reason I have this 2x4 here with the wheels is the wheels were once right under these lower pieces, but when I got the new table saw, I had to lower it a little bit. So by putting this 2x4 on the top and remounting the wheels there, it dropped it a little bit because this also works as my outfeed table. So right now I am going to put a new top on here, and the next thing to do will be to put 2x4s back along the sides. This was the original top. This top is almost 25 years old, and I have a new sheet of hardboard in the foyer out there. And then when I took this off and I flipped it over, I found out that it was actually in very good shape on the other side. So what I think I might do is just reuse this one. It's got a little bit of a stain right here, and there are a few holes where I drilled through it, but I can pound those down and sand them out a little bit. And you know, it's going to take some abuse over time anyway, and I'd rather do this and use it up and maybe replace this one with a new one in a more timely manner instead of waiting 25 years to do it. But there's still life in this. I'm not going to throw it away. We're going to use it as is, and it's already cut to the right width and length. And what I put this on with before was just some 23 gauge, I call them pin nails, and I had just done around the edge because with that OSB underneath, and this hardwood on top. Both are very stable and very flat, so I never got any buckling or bubbling or anything anywheres. It always worked out really well. So let's go around here and nail it down. This is a roll of paper. It's a big roll. They aren't too expensive. And I have this holder, and what I do is I pull this up over the top of the table, and then I just score it right here on the edge of the 2x4 and cut the piece off that I want. Not as much for painting or varnish, but more for when I have my parallel clamps out and I'm doing a flat panel glue up. You can't stop the glue from dripping on the bottom. And this is a way to like put a little something under there so when it drips, there's something to catch it. And this is my little Craftsman 3-gallon, 1.5 horsepower air compressor. It's an oil-filled one, which is probably why it's lasted 25 years. I can't even tell you the number of hours it's got on it. It's finished off a few houses. It's built half a dozen decks, and it will run a framing nailer quite well. It's been in the shop here with my nail guns and my brad guns all that time. It's done so much stuff. The only thing it won't run is rotary tools. Like it won't run my air sander. It won't run an air grinder, which I also have. And down in the garage, I have an 80-gallon compressor with a connection right over there, which I use for those things. But it's too bad to have to crank that one up just to do some pen nailing like I did on this thing. So this fires up fast, and it easily keeps up with those. So I'm going to clean it up, and it goes down here in the back of the bench. And here it is mounted in the back of the bench, this little slot that I made specifically for it. I have a plug in here because the bench does plug into the wall on the side. So I have power to the bench with some cords. I am waiting a new short Flexzilla air compressor hose. I really like them. I have a 50-footer now, and that I use, when I need to go outside. But this one in here is going to be a shorter one, and it'll be better than that coiled thing, which is more than annoying to work with. I'm about due for an oil change in this thing. It's been a long time too. So I headed to the box store, in this case Lowe's, to try to buy some 2x4s. And they have low, medium, and high grade, and the high grade ones weren't good enough. But they did have some decent 2x10s that I can upgrade and get my 2x4s out of. And in the end, I have to do a little work, but the cost is slightly less, and they were in good shape. If you got by wide lumber like this, it's usually straighter because it's hard to get something like this to take as much of a twist as a 2x4. Well, we got a fair amount done today. We finished up with this, and I did go to the store to get 2x4s and some plywood for the sort of French cleat wall over there, and a little look into what else I got done here, which will be part of the next video. I got this cut in half. You can't see there's a seam out there. And got it sanded, and I got it varnished so that tomorrow it should be dry and I can begin working on it. This plywood goes on that wall right there in a very different way. It's not really going to be a French cleat wall. It's going to be something that I saw on Wilkinson's website, YouTube channel. She's a really good woodworker. And she kind of invented a slot wall, but it's very French cleat-like. In the next episode, I'll show it to you. Anyway, thank you for watching this shorter episode of just me kind of like redoing this bench. I'm glad it's done. The shop's coming along. And looking forward to seeing you in the next episode. Hit the like button and subscribe button if you mind, because it just moves everything to the top if people are searching for these sort of things. Thanks for watching.